Welcome back, blade fans. This old sword's with you once again, and we've got a doggy knife with us today. Yeah, well, my lighthearted way of saying we've got another folder named after a pooch. This time by Kizer, and it is the Doberman. Right, well, the Doberman's a famous guard and attack dog. I think they're still in use for that, although there may be some other breeds they're using instead. This is a design by someone I couldn't find any background on, a new designer by the name of O.SHO, S-H-O. And tried Kizer. I couldn't even find this knife on Kizer. Sometimes they simply don't update their web page, but look at that beauty. Love the shape of that blade. I've seen that blade before. This interesting long belly and this drop point here gives you a very interesting and workable EDC knife, while at the same time giving you a defensive or tactical sort of setup should you choose or need that. Let's look at some of the interesting features of this first. Long run of jimping, and Kizer does their jimping very well. It's grippy without being bitey. And you've got this platform, call it a choil, finger choil if you want. Perhaps it is, part of it is, because it's cut into the blade, but more of a platform. And when you it's that, now you can use this full swale in here for your thumb. And it locks in beautifully. It's as if it's meant to have your thumb there. Really is. This does protrude a little bit. You need that for the thumb studs, but look how high they raised the thumb stud by putting it right at the peak there. And look at how beautifully silky, drop smooth that action is. Clip is looking like titanium. And yes, it must be. It's very handsome looking clip. I love the look of it. And we've got a nice grain to the black micarta on this one. There's one other version. This runs about 82 MSRP, and there is a more expensive version in S35VN going for about 170, and it has titanium handles. I'm going to give you links to both at White Mountain. This came from White Mountain. Thank you for fast delivery, Justin, at White Mountain. Nice thumb studs, fires very well. Again, very smooth. Hidden liners, nested liners, and take a look at that. Fairly on the thin side, so it probably won't pass the cold steel 600-pound test, but if you can hold 600 pounds, let me know. I don't think half Thor, the mountain there from Iceland, can hold 600 pounds in one hand. It's got nice engagement, I would say 50%. And it releases pretty well. You've got a good relief there. See? If you hang on to it, it'll just want to come right down on the nail of your thumb. While I got the light on, do we have any weight relieving? Interesting. One side is completely G10, and the other side is cut out for the liner. So no, we don't have any relieving of the metal because there isn't much metal in the support other than up in this region here. Light knife, we're going to weigh it up in a bit, but let's take some measurements on it. We'll compare it to some other knives, similar ilk. 8.6 overall, so not a small knife by any means, and just shy of 3 3/4, call it 3.65, with a cutting edge of 3.75, so longer cutting edge than blade, which happens fairly often in some knife designs. In inches, 0.55 across the handle. Let's leave it in inches and grab the blade right there. 0.11, which works out to 2.7 millimeters. So a thinner, slicier blade. Before I get carried away with grabbing paper to see how it slices, let's do this. Get that weight because I believe it is going to be light. Let's see what we end up with. Got a low battery. Come on. Okay. 4.44. That's interesting. Feels a little lighter than that. So it doesn't make the old ounce per inch rule. That's okay. So let's see what it'll do to some paper. Will it destroy some paper? Going to give it the best possible chance on the paper. First of all, it is piercy for a knife that looks like maybe it shouldn't be. Oh, it's silky smooth cutting through that paper. It actually goes slow. Oh, that's a sharp knife, folks. That is sharp right out of the box. Kizer's doing a nice job with these edges. Beautiful. Feels lighter than the 4.4, but you know, I guess because there's no further weight relieving and G10's got some weight to it. It's a little more dense than maybe some other materials. Look at that jimping. Beautiful job. It goes over a little mountain there and then down into the valley. What do we got back here? We do have kind of a semi-hidden lanyard hole. Sticks out from the pommel a little bit and is a slot, so you could definitely put something through there. Very ergonomic handle, smooth, and it's contoured, as you can see. So although it's over ½ an inch there, it certainly doesn't feel like it because it is all so nicely rounded and chamfered and smooth over. There is a what would appear to be an aluminum. Nope, it's steel. So the backspacer is steel. That's giving it some weight. There's my answer. And it also gives it, I would say, a nice balance. It allows the balance to be right on the index finger there. So, the Brat, a button lock by Kizer, also one of my favorites. And it's a bit shorter, the Brat is, by about an inch. Wasn't expecting that. But we've got a blade that's only about a ¼ inch longer here if we go right to the handles. So interesting. With this one, we've got real good blade to handle ratio. With the Doberman, also pretty good. Pretty good right out there. And that point drops down in, so you're not going to snag your finger. Notice how muted the flipper is on this knife, but you've got jimping. So you've got to approach it. You can't approach it from the top. You're going to slip off. You got to bring your finger around here and then pull back. No problem. It's got a nicely set up detent on it. And it breaks really well with the thumb studs. Yeah, I can feel it. Well, I hit something there. Yeah, you can feel it with a thumb stud. Can you feel it with a flipper? Probably not. Because it's going to want to just break all at once. You're putting more pressure on the flipper than you are in the thumb stud, but no problem. Not much effort at all to send it out there with the thumb stud. Yep, you can middle finger flick it too. So that's against the Kizer Brat. How about another dog-named knife? The Labrador from Vosteed. Kind of a similar utility style blade and about the same length. So Labrador is one of the larger, except for like the Gator series from Vosteed recently. These are perfectly the same size. Little narrower handle here. Got a little more hand filling here. And this is possibly a little thinner as well with that deep carry clip. Now let's talk about the clip. Not real happy with the clip. What they did here, I don't know if you can see it, is give you kind of this fin underneath. It's not a wide contact area. It's almost like a blade. And the back of it here definitely hooks on the pants. It goes in fairly well. I don't know if I don't have anything here to show you. but it grabs on the way out. You know, it wants to hold on. Why they made this clip this way, I don't know. You could have just molded something or cast something in there to the titanium that was as wide as the clip. The clip's beautiful looking. Love it. Why they went with that thin, I don't know, unless somebody's worried about it falling out of your pocket. So I'd rather have it come out a little easier than, come out a little easier than go in easy. This one definitely is set up with a ramp, as you can see, that's angled enough to go in, but you've got such a thin piece of material there that it's really digging in to whatever material you put it on. I think that's something that definitely needs improvements, maybe on future versions of this. Again, I don't know why. I mean, is it a style point? Is that something you really are seeing? Let's see if I can get the light on it and give you a real good look. Get the flashlight out. Get it in focus. Let's see what we can do here. Back out of it. This may not work. There it is. There it is. You can see that tiny little blade of a contact area. I don't know if that was something from the designer or Kizer or what. Otherwise, perfect. But if you can't carry this knife easily and get it out of your pocket without any effort, then, you know, something's up. You could probably modify that clip a little bit and, you know, remove it. You'd have to get to it from the underside, however, and smooth it out a little bit. This is the second clip problem I've seen on a knife since the Meerkat by MaxAce, and MaxAce is sending me a new clip that they designed for the Meerkat. I'll put it on the knife and do a little demo when it comes in, but that's supposed to improve the experience with that knife, which is a lovely knife, except again for the clip. This is a tremendous knife for EDC, again, except for the clip. There's all sorts of little modifications you can do if you want to clips. I mean, you can slide a piece of like wax paper under there. You know, you can lube it up, smooth it out a little bit. You can put a piece of like emery cloth under there and work it back and forth. A lot of little tricks you can do that I've done over the years. You could, of course, take a little pressure off, see if you could bend it, but it's pretty stiff. That's another part of the problem there. How about next to the Griptilian? It is a bigger boy, bigger dog than the Griptilian by about an inch. So not, again, not a short knife. And it must stack up pretty well against the Rat 1. Let's see. It is right in there with the Rat 1. Rat 1's just fractions of an inch longer. So yeah, nice lighter weight knife. If you shop at White Mountain and you buy this knife or others or a bunch of knives, don't forget to use my discount code Old Sword, all one word, OLD-SWORD. Almost couldn't spell that. We'll give you 10% off of your order. Well, let me know what you think. And don't forget to give this vid a like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be back soon.